Football season is officially back. We are 1 week away from the start of the first week. If you want to see our predictions for week one, stay tuned on the channel because that is coming next week. If you do want to see our week one predictions, that video will be coming next week on the channel. But you can join us in predicting week one. There will be a link down below to join our ESPN Pigskin Pick'em League, where you can make predictions every single week and compete against the boys to see who knows ball. All you've got to do is join the link down below, sign up on ESPN's website. Again, not sponsored. ESPN, if you want to sponsor us, go for it. But, yeah, man, join the league. Join with the link down below. Make your predictions. It's simple. All you've got to do is make predictions. It's free, and it's a bit of fun. With that being said, let's get back to the main video. But today, we are making our pre-season big dick predictions, right? We're going to throw it out there. Who we think's going to win each division. We're going to give MVP suggestions. Well, not suggestions, but predictions. It's not a suggestion, you know what I mean? I suggest Lamar Jackson for MVP. Throw that my vote out there. I don't get a vote. Who the fuck am I? Regular season MVP, Super Bowl winner, Rookies of the Year, all of that. So make sure you stay tuned till the end of the video. There'll probably be timestamps down below. If this is your first time watching though, welcome to the Nameless NFL show. This is the part where we have the big music and intro and stuff, but we don't have the production value for that yet. So you're not getting any of that right now. I am your host of the most electrifying NFL show in YouTube entertainment. I have many names. I'm also nameless. I've been going by Scott Winters, though, when I talk about sports. Follow me on Twitter at Coach Winters X. They letting anyone call themselves a coach these days, Q. I represent the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. I have two teams. If you want to know why, ask a question in the comments below. I probably won't answer, but that's me. Representing the Green Bay Packers, as you can tell by his hat. My co-host, Q. How we doing, Q? How we feeling?
Oh, doing great, man. New season coming up. Excited to definitely get some redemption from last time, but we'll talk about that later. I'm just sights set ahead on this new season. I can't wait to see what unfolds.
It should be a good season, man. We've had a lot of trades in the off-season. We obviously had the draft. It felt like a year ago, me and you made our draft reaction video. Normally, we are joined by a third co-host. He's unable to make it today, but hopefully he should be back for the week one predictions. We've also got his predictions for the preseason, so we can go through them later on in the video, and then stuff to look back on at the end of the year, you know. But exciting times, as Q says. Obviously, for the Cowboys and a Ravens fan, two sides of the scale here. Ravens, I'm very optimistic. Cowboys, there's a reason I support two teams. Packers, though, you must be feeling good about Matthew Golden. I've heard good things about him. Let's just talk about that before we get to the predictions. I want your thoughts on the Green Bay Packers going into this season.
Oh, man. I'm very excited. It's going to be a very tough schedule to start. But if we got a healthy Jordan Love this year, we got Josh Jacobs coming back saying he's felt the best he's ever felt in his career. We got a banged up receiver room, and our corner depth is a little thin, but I think we're going to have guys stepping up this year. Like you just talked about, we got Matthew Golden, who's been popping off in practice and has been the only receiver in the preseason to catch a football so far. So he's probably going to be thrown to the wolves right away, but he's been doing pretty good so far, and I'm excited to see how he develops even further.
Yeah, tough schedules this year for some certain teams. I don't know what the New York Giants did to deserve that schedule, but they could go 0-17 this season. I don't think they will, though. We'll talk more about teams, records, and fixtures later on. But yeah, like you mentioned the quarterbacks. Fucking hell. Get your head in the game. You can tell it's the first video back. He mentioned the cornerback room being slim for the Packers. Jair Alexander, now a Raven. There's been rumours of Micah Parsons, my Cowboy player, moving to the Packers. That probably won't happen. But there's a little, trio roundabouts of trades going on right now between, it seems, our three teams. But without further ado, that's a lot of yapping for an intro. Should we jump into the first division? Let's start then with the AFC East. I've got them written East, West, North, South, which is a very weird way to do it. I feel like North, South, East, West is the regular way to say things, but I've gone with the AFC East first. Let's talk about this division because there's not too much to say about it. Bills are going to win it. Have you got anything else? Have you gone with a different winner, or is it just obvious that the Bills are going to win this division again?
I mean, you say AFC East, it's more like AFC least because there's definitely the least to even mention with it. I got the Bills winning. I mean, I'm excited to see a couple of players from the Dolphins coming back, like Jalen Phillips. He's been taken down two season-ending injuries in a row. I'm really excited to see him come back and to see what the Dolphins can do. But I mean, outside of that, you got Bills with their MVP. Oh man, I'm Josh Allen. threw 24 touchdowns and I had a cool run against the Chiefs and I'm married to Haley Steinfeld and I got a pity MVP. Fuck this guy, bro. But
And I'm
I
handsome
mean,
as
he's
fuck
just
and
gonna keep
6'4".
yeah, and I'm being paid millions and millions of dollars that you'll never see in your entire life. And I don't even think about you at all.
I'm a really
Fuck
good
you,
guy
buddy.
who does like stuff for Make-A-Wish and stuff like that. I always see videos of him,
Oh my
and he's a really
god.
nice
Oh,
guy.
that's
Like
just
this guy, man. Like fuck him, you know what I mean? Oh
that's
man,
just the worst. That's just absolutely the worst. No. Yeah, it's Bills and that's pretty much all there is to say.
yeah, man. I do like the Patriots though. I do think I've gone with the Bills obviously to win, but I do hope to see the Patriots have like a bounce back year. Drake May, I think he could be exciting. My boy Christian Gonzalez at cornerback. What a fucking name that is. Can I just say, objectively, Christian Gonzalez is one of the coolest names of all time. Like that put together, those names that's just great. You know what I mean? Like Tony Gonzalez is cool, but Christian Gonzalez just it adds an extra bit to it. I think objectively, top 3 name in the league, possibly. Speaking of top 3 names in the league, watch out this season for the Patriots. Travion Henderson. Watch out for that name. You won't be able to miss it. It's a long ass name. You know what I mean? You won't be able to miss it if you see it. So look out for it. But I think their run game could be strong this year. And Drake May is good, bro. They've got Stephon Diggs, right? And Cardi B is going to be at some of the games. So I don't know if she's going to be catching passes or what from Drake May, but we'll have to wait and see. Q, what position do you think Cardi B would play if she was an NFL player? Is that a disrespectful question to ask? I don't know if we should even put that in the video, but what position do you think Cardi B would play if she signed for the Patriots?
Oh man, she would be great at holding a clipboard for backup QB, I think.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, Cardi B, backup QB, and then she can throw to her man, Stephon Diggs. I like the vision. Bro, this rain is so fucking loud. Can you hear that on the mic? This is actually crazy. I don't want to stand up too high because I've got no fucking undies on. I'm not nude, but I'm just in like short. Anyway, bro, it's fucking pissing down. That's crazy. I was going to go out today to go to the shop as well. I would be getting fucking drowned in that. Anyway, moving on.
I was gonna make a joke.
Go for it.
I was gonna make a joke earlier, being like, "It's the only time of year all the boys can get together and not wear any pants, and nobody knows." And then you just,
hey, you can only see from me from the Jeff Hardy up. You can't see the Jeff Hardy down. You know what I mean? Swanton bomb where, bro? Anyway, the Dolphins trash. I'm sorry, Tyreek might have a good season again, but Tua, all he needs is one little knock on the helmets, and he's done for the season again. So, and the Jets. Aaron Glenn, new head coach, but the Jets are the Jets. Justin feels like they're going to go 5-12. Moving on, we've got the AFC West. Another division that I'm excited for this year. I think the AFC West could be a good one. Who do you have to win this division, Q, and to make the playoffs, if anyone?
well, AFC West, I think it's going to be Chiefs again. I mean, they were just completely dragged along by the officials last year, and they're going to need to take a real long, hard look at themselves, and they know they can be a better team. Last year was just dreadful. Like, I'm not trying to be like facetious or like to just harp on them because they've been so good in the past, but that's also part of the problem is they've been so good in the past. They've shown that they can play at an elite level, and there's been how many instances last season where they got consistently bailed out by like the drop snap against the Raiders where the officials failed to make the correct call, and then just all these like Josh Allen supposedly not getting a first down even though he's taking a beach chair and sitting down 5 yards on the other side of the line. Just things like that all throughout the season have just been like miserable as a fan to watch because you know these Chiefs can be good and they just weren't that at all last year. You saw it in the Super Bowl. I didn't even start celebrating till the Eagles scored 40 because they were 34 nothing. I'm gonna go, okay, here we go. Manufactured 5 touchdowns in a row. It's gonna end 35-34. Patrick Mahomes is going to get 3 in a row. Travis Kelce's going to propose to Taylor Swift in midfield. Didn't happen midfield, but it did happen later.
Did
so
you see
we
the
know
ring?
that shit was going to happen.
Did you see the ring? We've got to mention it. We've got to put Taylor Swift's name in the title for clicks. Swifties. Did you see the ring? Anyway, carry on. Oh.
Yeah, no, but Chiefs, whether they get dragged along by the refs or not, I think they're going to be in first place. But my second place team, we talked about some movement from the Niners to the Broncos with Dre Greenlaw. I think the Broncos are going to be looking great this year. Bo Nix, I think, proved a lot of doubters wrong. Everybody's talking about how he wasn't ready for the NFL. And I'm not saying experience is the end-all, be-all, but you got a guy who played many years at the college level and being able to get so much experience, and you think that he's going to go to the NFL. It is a different league, but act like he's never taken a snap in his life and being like, oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to the Broncos. I think Bo Nix is going to keep proving people wrong this year, and I think he's going to take that next step. So I got Chiefs number 1, Broncos number 2. Also, sorry if you can hear my dogs just barking and running up and down the stairs.
I can't hear it, don't worry. Sorry if you can hear the rain. That's the same thing there.
No.
Yeah, no, I can't fucking I can't remember who it was now. Yeah, no, it's not even raining. It's sunny outside.
You're the one that's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's sunny outside, bro.
I don't have pants on. I can't tell what's going on outside.
I can't even see outside, to be fair, because there's a bunch of fucking manga and books on there. But I'm pretty sure it's raining. Maybe. Similar vein to you, I've got the Chiefs to win the division. I do really like the Broncos. Their defense is insane. The defensive line, the cornerbacks, the secondary, it's just such a great defense the way they're set up over there. The offense looking good too. Bo Nix, again, another year of experience under his belt. Will he have a great season again? Does he even need to be great, or does he just need to be good? And the defense is great. There's a team that we'll mention in the AFC North where I have a similar point to make. But yeah, I think the Broncos could definitely make the playoffs. I think the Chiefs will have a bounce back season. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged, which means, if you thought that they're not going to get Taylor Swift with the ring on camera, are you kidding me, bro? They're going straight back to the Super Bowl again. Taylor Swift might even halftime perform, and at the end of her set, she announces, I'm pregnant. That's my big dick prediction for the year. That's my out of left field prediction. Taylor Swift does the halftime show. I don't even know if it's been announced yet, by the way, the Super Bowl halftime show. Taylor Swift does it, announces, I'm pregnant, and the Chiefs are going to win. Anyway, back to actual sports, though. I do really like the Broncos. I think the Broncos, their passing game coordinator has left, and I can't remember where he's gone to. I think he might have gone to the Bears to work with Ben Johnson. That's in my head, but I might be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure their passing game coordinator has left, and a lot of people credited him for how good Bo Nix was last year. So will Bo Nix be as good this year? Will he have took that knowledge and still be good this year? We'll have to wait and find out. But that Denver team, to me, their identity is the defense. Pat Surtain, PS2, best corner in the league. The D-line with my boy Nick Bonito off the edge. You've got, what's his name? The defensive tackle, is it Allen? I think he's great. Their defense is just Zach Allen, big body, big boy. Why is everyone whose surname Allen is just like a fucking sensational millionaire, good looking guy with a beautiful wife? I might need to change my name. Anyway, yeah, I like the Chargers this year, though. I can't lie. My little dark horse pick, big dick prediction: the Chargers make the playoffs again. This time they don't get fucked by the Texans. I really like the Chargers, bro. I think Justin Herbert is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Last season, outside of Ladidi McConkey, he didn't have nobody to throw to for real. They've tried to make some pickups there in the wide receiver position. Even Keenan Allen's come back to be like, let me show these young bulls how to catch an actual ball. You've got my boy Harbaugh as the head coach. He's picked up some running backs too. I think they got 2 running backs in, one in the draft. Omarion Hampton, was he? I think they got another guy in there at the running back room. They've got these 2 backs now, and I think their identity this season might even be the run game, as good as Justin Herbert is. And Harbaugh said he wants Justin Herbert to get in the Hall of Fame. He had the dream. You talk about me being schizophrenic and hearing things outside my room. This guy's having ayahuasca dreams about Justin Herbert in a gold jacket. You know what I mean? Weirder things have happened in my dreams, to be fair, so I can't even slate him. I saw Dak Prescott with a Super Bowl ring, but that wasn't even a dream. That was like a. You ever seen Dune? I'm like the Lisan Al Gaib. That was like an actual vision from the future. Anyway, yeah, I'm taking Broncos and Chargers to make the playoffs. Chiefs to win the division though. Again, I've put 3 teams from that division to make the playoffs. I think I'm going over the limit of playoff teams, but I don't care. Also, did I say last AFC East, Patriots to make the playoffs? Let me throw that in there. Another big dick prediction. Patriots make the playoffs. Mike Vrabel. I can never say his name first time. Vrabel, head coach. I'm just going to say Coach Mike. That's thunder and lightning outside. Definitely is noises. Q. I'm not tripping. That was thunder and lightning. Or it was somebody moving a wheelie bin. It could be either or. I do not know because I'm not looking outside yet. But I'm looking inside the NFL. And I'm telling you, the Patriots, the Chargers, and the Broncos are making the playoffs from the AFC. Speaking of teams making the playoffs from the AFC, AFC North, my other team's division, the Baltimore Ravens. I'm obviously taking the Ravens to win this division. I'm taking the Browns to go 2-15. I'm taking the Bengals to actually make the playoffs this year because Joe Burrow is that guy. Jamar Chase is that guy. T. Higgins, dog. Trey Hendrickson's got a contract. The rest of their defense, who the fuck knows? Has that rookie got a contract yet? Is he still holding out? Have they give the rookie his contract? I don't know. But Q, what's your thoughts on the AFC North? Let me interrupt before you go, because I'm going to give you free reign. I want to say, I mentioned before about, my brain is all over the place. We said there was a QB. Do they need to be great or not? Bo Nix, does he need to be great or just good enough and the defense can carry? I think the same thing applies for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Aaron Rodgers doesn't need to be great. He just needs to be good. And the Pittsburgh defense will carry them to a winning record. And Mike Tomlin will go 9-8 and miss the playoffs. Q, free reigns for you now for the AFC North. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love Rodgers and everything that he's done for the Packers, I don't know if the Steelers are going to be making the playoffs this year. Just like you said, probably going to be another 9-8 positive campaign record-wise, but I don't think they're making the playoffs because I got both the Ravens and the Bengals above them. I mean, this Ravens team, spoilers for later, I have them doing very well this season. I think they just got better in the offseason. And oh my God, if you throw 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions and don't win MVP, what kind of fire is that going to light under you for this coming season? Because that is just absolutely ridiculous that Lamar Jackson wasn't MVP last year. And yeah, playing with that fire all year, he might go like 50-5, 60-6 with the touchdown interception ratio. It's going to be absolutely insane. But yeah, I got Ravens. They're the best all-around team. And I got the Bengals above the Steelers. I think we've seen it. They can do exceptional things on offense with their trio of Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. And they just need one person, 2 people on defense to, what's the term? Show up. And then I think they'll be all right. Because last year, it was a dogfight every single week. They got their fair share of wins and were very close to making the playoffs last year. But God, they just need somebody to show up and do something because they practically were guiding the opposition into the end zone on every drive. And that just can't happen again this year.
Yeah, Joe Burrow was scoring like 3 touchdowns a game. You know, the Bengals were putting up like 40 points per game, but then conceding 50 points. So you can't win games like that. You know, they say offense wins games, defense wins championships. You just need a defense to actually be there and be present. Last season, they were not. It was actually crazy to see. I felt really bad for Joe Burrow. Even watching the quarterback series again on Netflix, not sponsored. Netflix, if you do want to sponsor us though, I need money. I'm skint. I've got no fuel in my car. Anyway, I've got no pants on right now because I can't afford any. Netflix, please sponsor us. But nah, bro, for real though, there's a whole scene where he's talking about fossils and fucking like dinosaur bones and stuff in this Netflix documentary. I'm like, Joe, what does this have to do about football? But then I realized he's talking about fossils because there's going to be one in his division next year. Aaron Rodgers. Now, A-Rod, I don't want to disrespect him. He's one of the greatest QBs probably ever, maybe. Is that controversial to say? I don't know. But, bro, he cannot move. You know what I mean? If you play a team that has a good pass rush, the Steelers are going to get swamped. I think the Bengals, Did they have a good pass rush with my boy Trey Hendrickson getting his contract? He might destroy Aaron Rodgers this year and put him into retirement. That's crazy to say. While we're talking about the AFC North, though, we'll talk more about the Ravens later because, as you may expect, we both have the Ravens doing very well this season. So I do want to talk about the Ravens a bit later on. But I want to mention the Browns while we're still here because I want to put Shedeur Sanders' name in the title. Taylor Swift and Shedeur Sanders and more. Welcome to Clickbait FC. Yeah, man, what do you think about the Browns, bro? What is going on over there? Like, Joe Flacco is going to be the starter. He's 40. Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders as their backups. They haven't named who's second and who's third string, but we know how that's going to go. We're not stupid. We know how it's going to go. And yeah, anything to say about the Browns while we're here talking about this 2-15 team?
The Browns have completely fucked themselves for probably the next 10 years ever since they got that pedophile, or not pedophile, but that rapist. You can bleep this out, I don't care. But you know who I'm talking about at quarterback. And then he goes on, plays the shittiest football he's ever played in his entire life, tears his Achilles twice. I'm hoping for a third time. I don't care if that makes me a bad person. He's a bad person. And it's just like, all of that investment, and for what? Like, you knew what he did. You knew the storm that was coming, and you gave him $230 million guaranteed. And you thought, I think this guy is the one that'll carry the Cleveland Browns to greatness. I don't know, dude. The Browns are the Browns, and they haven't had a good QB since Otto Graham. I don't think any
was that the black and white days? Did they even have color on TV in those days? I don't even know.
I don't think so. No. But yeah, the Browns have not had a good quarterback since Otto Graham. You can try to make the case for Baker Mayfield, but I think it's like a catch-22. Baker Mayfield was the best quarterback the Browns have had since Otto Graham, but he had like off the field issues, and that only got remedied once he left. Like, if he was still there, he probably would have turned into another Johnny Manziel type situation, and that would not have been great.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be the Baker he is now if he'd stayed at the Browns. I think he had to go through. Where'd he go? He went to Panthers, right? And there was another team in between, was there? Before he made it to the Bucks.
The Rams.
The Rams. Yeah, there we go. I think he had to go through that journey to, like, because he's an absolute dog right now playing in Tampa Bay, but at the Browns, like, yeah, he had that expectation and stuff, but he wasn't the Baker that he is now. So when you say like he's the best QB that they had was Otto Graham, that's why, because it's not the same Baker that they had in Cleveland that he is now, you know. But yeah, I just don't understand like the whole 2-minute drill thing. I don't want to harp on about this for too long because I feel like the whole rest of the NFL media talk about this every day. But bro, it doesn't make no sense. You're cutting the guy the next day. You know you're cutting the guy. Why let him take the 2-minute drill and not give it to Shedeur? Like a guy who's actually going to be at the team, and don't you want him to get the reps and actually progress? He had like a third string O-line when Shedeur went on the other day. I think he went like 4-12 with his passes because it was that bad, and he took a sack for like 27 yards. But it was the third string O-line, and 4 out of the 5 O-linemen got cut the next day. I want to say, I don't like the way they're treating him. You know, we can all see the games he play. Officer Hoyt did show training day. Let's move on to the AFC South then. Texans to win it for me. Jags probably to do well because they've got Travis Hunter, who's probably going to be an absolute star on primetime TV. Brian Thomas Jr. is one of my favorite receivers in the league, probably top 15, if not top 10, easily. I think the Colts suck ass, and the Titans, yeah, they've got a new QB, but the rest of the squad's ass. Let's see if Cam Ward can completely flip that franchise. But for me, this is an easy pick. The Texans win the AFC South. And over to you, Q. I've got nothing else to say about this bum-ass division.
I mean, it's definitely probably one of the worst talent-wise. I got the Texans winning as well, but I got one of the other teams just sneaking into the playoffs as my 7th seed, and that is Duval.
Oh.
I mean, look, man, I think this is probably the most exciting Jaguars team since their inaugural season in 1995. I think it was the first time since then anybody's sat down and went, I am excited to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars this year.
I mean, that's why they gave up so much for that trade. I think what you just said there is exactly why they went up to get Travis Hunter, because they knew that would be the response, you know? Get eyes on them. get, the merchandise and the revenue from everything that would bring, the TV slots, all of that, but also to change the squad because he's a great player,
Yeah, I mean, they've changed like the entirety of that team, not even just on the field. They got a brand new GM, they got a brand new head coach. I'm pretty sure they have all new coordinators. They have just completely wiped the slate for this team. And it's going to take some time for T-Law to learn the new system and everything, but I think this is his best chance for success that he's had in his career. He was touted as like the next Andrew Luck, who is the next Peyton Manning, and he's just had all of this hype coming out of college, and we just truly haven't seen it yet. I mean, we've had injuries get in the way, and those are unfortunate, but outside of injuries, he still hasn't really put it together. But you got BTJ, who, like you said, is a top 15 receiver in the league. He's got Travis Hunter, who I don't know if I could confidently say, oh, he's going to come out and be a star, whether it's on offense or defense or both. But he's going to be another big name to fill the shoes, get eyes on the team, and probably still do a better job than some of the guys they had there before. And yeah, man, I think the Jaguars are more prized to make some noise this year than they have in a long, long time. And I got them barely sneaking into the playoffs as my 7th seed.
I like it. I've just deleted somehow. I've just put my phone down on the table, and the note that I had with all my predictions on has just deleted itself. But I don't know what the fuck just happened there. But I don't want to cut off your point that you made because that was a great point. That's a big dick prediction to say Jaguars to make the playoffs. I like it. I like that prediction. I want to check the odds of that. Should we go on DraftKings right now and check? DraftKings is not available in the UK. I'm just trying to be relatable to an American audience. But you'd probably get good odds if you back that. Texans to win the division, but Jags to make the playoffs. That's a big one. How do you think Cam Ward's going to do with the Titans? In fact, hold that thought. I really need to run the toilet, but I want to ask you that when I get back, and I just didn't want to forget. So let me turn the camera off so you don't see any ass as I get out the seat. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
I don't want to see any Dak Prescott when you're getting up.
How do you think Cam Ward's going to do with the Titans? Do you think he's enough to change that franchise? Is there still pieces missing? Or could he just come in and get them in the playoffs? Imagine that.
I think this Titans team is very far away from playoff contention, but I do like what I've seen from Cam Ward so far, at least in terms of trying to become a leader. In one of the camps, I think he got in a fight with, I think it's Jeffrey Simmons, like one of the biggest guys on the D line. He got in a fight with him, and he goes in the interview after, and he goes, "Yeah, he big as shit." But just that mentality of like charging at one of the biggest guys on the team, one of the leaders that's been there for a long time, and making your own presence known about like, I'm the new guy coming in, yeah, but I'm going to be the one running this team, and you're going to do things his way or no way at all. We'll definitely see how it plays out, but I like that mentality from Cam Ward, and I don't know, man. I don't think they're going to do great. They're going to look like ass this year, but they're going to be exciting to watch while they're ass.
Exciting like ass, yeah. Whoa. What do you say fuck me for? What do you say fuck me for? Oh, man.
I was going to make that joke earlier. Just had to put it in now.
Oh, the Titans are going to be an exciting ass. That is very funny. I was trying to think of like an analogy there or a story I could go. But it's like, yeah, no, let me not even do it. That's demonetization. Let's do Crab's predictions then for the AFC. For the AFC North, he went with the Ravens. Good pick. AFC South went with the Texans. Bum-ass division. AFC East, he went with the Bills. Bum-ass division. And for the AFC West, he picked the Broncos. He picked the Broncos to win the division over the Chiefs, and I really like that pick, honestly. You look on DraftKings, you look on one of the betting websites, you get some good odds for that. And I think there's good reasons why he could have said that. Obviously, he didn't give me reasons, but if he was on the show, I'm sure he'd be able to explain it. We kind of mentioned it both ourselves when we said the Broncos are likely to make the playoffs. But I guess just for similar reasons there, he's gone the Broncos to win the AFC West. But I also feel like he's picked the Broncos because he hates the Chiefs too. So I'm sure if he was here, he might just say, fuck the Chiefs, which I imagine is what he would say. So yeah, from Crab, this ain't coming from me. Chiefs fans, Taylor Swift fans, Swifties, don't kill me. But Crab said, fuck the Chiefs. He didn't actually, don't kill him when he comes back next week. But That is Crab's predictions for the AFC North. Shall we move on to the NFC? Let's jump in.
Let's get it.
Let's start with the NFC North. Why not? Let's go up north. Let's start with your division, the Packers. We'll probably do both of our divisions first. Who have you got winning the division, Q? Is that a silly question to ask?
I mean, if I was a more realistic fan, I don't think it'd be a silly question to ask, but I am, as they say, a little bit delusional. But I'm not predicting 17-0 or anything like that, but I am predicting with a healthy Jordan Love and an improved, you got Josh Jacobs even healthier than before, and he was great last season. It's going to be scary to see how he improves. And we got improvements on the line, and just like I said, the receivers and corners are a little bit slim, but we improved pretty much everywhere else. And these Lions, they've been exceptional last year, but can they replicate 15-2? I don't think so. They're getting a lot of pieces back on their defense, but they lost both their coordinators, and one of them went to another divisional rival. You got inside secrets,
Insider trades
from
there.
one divisional team to the next. Yep, it's looking scary in Detroit. They're still a great team, but I got the Packers winning the division.
I like it. And you never bet against your own team. We'll see if I end up doing that when we talk about the NFC East in a bit. But for the NFC North, I like the Packers this year. I am very bullish on the Packers, and I do think they have a good chance of winning the division. I have, though, picked the Lions to win the division again. I think you two might end up on the same record, though. And you play each other week one. Obviously, you'll play each other twice with being in the same division, don't you? But I think it comes down to that game of you two playing each other. Whoever wins those games. You might trade, win one each, but I think that honestly could decide who wins the division. Because I went through each team's schedule as well and tried to give that's how I made my list for the division winners. And I've got the Lions going 11-6 and the Packers going 10-7. But again, that's one game difference. So whoever wins between the Packers versus Lions, that could flip those records there in my predictions anyway. So I'm going to Lions, bro. They have lost both coordinators, which is a big loss. And Ben Johnson had that offense looking tasty last year. 33 points per game, I think they were averaging or something. Highest scoring points per game average in the league. And yeah, man, that Lions offense, all the trick plays, it had me feeling nicey. Amon-Ra St. Brown was feeling nicey. Everyone was getting involved. J-Mo was humping the ground. Jared Goff was, what did he come in the top 100, top 15? I think he placed in the top 100. And I've been watching the quarterback series on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen any of it. I like Jared Goff, bro. He seems like a fun guy. He seems like he's not entirely, how do I say this in a nice sports analyst respectful way? I don't know. I'm going to stop the sentence right there before it does get controversial. But I like Jared Goff. I like his wife. They seem to have a good relationship. And I hope to find myself a woman who supports me like Jared Goff's wife supports him. But that's getting cut out. But I'm picking the Lions to win the division. I think the Packers, I am very excited to see what they can do this year. I'm very excited to see Matthew Golden in the golden helmet. Potential for Rookie of the Year, maybe, if he clicks with Jordan Love straight away. We'll talk about offensive and defensive rookies of the year later on in this video after the divisions. We're not really going to go through third and fourth in the division, but we may as well. I've got the Bears finishing third and the Vikings last. And this is all because I don't know anything about JJ McCarthy. And I'm fading JJ McCarthy this season. I just think the most important position for a team is the quarterback. And if your quarterback doesn't play well, your team doesn't do well. Ben Johnson, we mentioned from the Lions, has gone to the Bears. I think their offense will look a lot better this year. They've picked up a lot of players in the O-line. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but I do have the Bears going for a positive record this year, which I think will be the first time since 2018 was the last time they had a positive record. Damn, the Bears suck. But do you have any other team in this division making the playoffs, Q?
Not making the playoffs. I got Packers on top and Lions also getting in. I think it's definitely going to be two separate fights in the division where you got Packers and Lions going for the top and Bears and Vikings going for not trying to get last place. Like you said, I think both these teams are in very similar situations where they have great teams around the quarterback, but the
Mm,
quarterback is a question mark so far. I like Caleb Williams, but he definitely his style of play didn't translate super great last season, and you could also blame a lot of the Bears last season on their last head coach. So I won't dig at him too hard for that. But you also got the Vikings, where you have pretty much the same exact team as last year, and we're coming into the season where like they have Sam Darnold. What are they going to win? Like 6 games, and then they come out on fire. What'd they go? 14-3, something like that. Like
mm.
absolutely insane for Sam Darnold. Like, how good does JJ McCarthy have to actually play in order for this team around him to potentially be talking about playoffs again? Like, I don't think they're making it this year, but hell, if he puts anything remotely close to what Darnold was able to do, and he had no expectations, then it's going to be a very scary team again. So we'll definitely see how it goes. I think the Vikings have the biggest difference between ceiling and floor out of any team, and it all comes down to the quarterback. He was exceptional at handing the football off in Michigan. We'll just have to see how well he can throw at the NFL level.
Yeah, you make a great point there. Like, how well does he really need to play? Because Sam Darnold, how well did he really play? You know, you look around the rest of that Vikings team. Justin Jefferson, top 2 receiver in the league. You've got Jordan Addison, who I think might be suspended for the first few games, is he? Or maybe I'm making that up.
Yeah.
But TJ Hawkinson, tight end, right? He's good. He's a good receiver for them. They just signed Adam Thielen back. By the way, is what's going on with all these trades with everyone going back home? Is this 2015? I saw
It's
a list of like,
homecoming.
it's literally homecoming year. You know what I mean? You have Amari Cooper to the Raiders, Adam Thielen back to the Vikings. My man Keenan Allen's gone back to Chargers. You know what I mean? Everyone's trying to get
Yeah,
home.
Brandon.
Yeah,
Yeah, Brandon Cook's back on the Saints too.
exactly. Even Dorothy trying to get back to Kansas. You know what I mean? Everyone's just trying to get home, bro. But Vikings, solid receiving core. The defense too. Last season, the Vikings defense, that Brian Flores defense, is a scary thing to look at. Speaking of defense, the Lions, they should be better defensively this year. Obviously, they got their back doors blown off by the Commanders in the NFC game, in the divisional game. But they've got a lot of players coming back from injury, Aiden Hutchinson being one of them. He's looking nice, apparently. I haven't seen, obviously, much from him because he's not played a full game yet. But apparently, he's back. You know, and we'll have to wait and see, man. I can't wait to watch the NFC North this season. I think that's going to be such a good division. All the coaching changes, you know, all the personnel changes over there. That's going to be a fun division to watch. Should we move on to the NFC South? We go from north to the south. This is another very interesting division. I feel like you've got the Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints. I just accidentally read them out in the order that I've got them ranked. I've got the Buccaneers to win the division. I am very bullish, though, on the Atlanta Falcons. Since last year, you guys will know from the NFL picks, that man with the number 9 on his jersey, Michael Penix, he's a starter this year. The only thing I feel like the Falcons really lacked last year was a pass rush, bro. Anyone who was playing against the Falcons, any QB, he knew he could stand there in the pocket. He had time to make a cup of coffee. He had time to read a book. Never mind read this, you know, the defense and make his progressions, but the Falcons, they've made some pickups. They drafted 2 linebackers in the first round of the draft, trying to get that edge rush a bit better than it was last year. So I do really like the Falcons. Michael Penix Jr., one of my favorite players in the league. Drake London. Now that's a dog. That's a dog over there in Atlanta. Bijan Robinson. What a player. But I've still got the Bucs winning this division. Who have you got to win this division, Q?
I got pretty much the same order as you. I'm trying to keep things different, but it just comes down to the chemistry. Like this Bucks team has been doing it for the past few seasons with Baker Mayfield, and they've been pretty successful. I'm excited to see what the Falcons can do, and I think it just comes down to seeing how well they can all mesh together. I mean, we saw the season last year starting with Kirk Cousins. We only got to see Penix for what, like 2-3 games at the end. Maybe that's even pushing it a little bit. And he didn't look super great, but I think it's also some of the receivers didn't help him out. Kyle Pitts just handed
Kyle
the
Pitts,
ball
what the hell is he
straight to
doing?
the
What is he
defender,
doing?
and it's an interception. But you know, people are still high on Kyle Pitts, and we've seen it before. I don't know if you know Irving Fryer. He was number 1 overall for the Patriots in like 1980 something, and he was asked for like the first 10 years of his career. Sure enough, he turns 30, starts putting up like 4 1,000-yard seasons in a row. So there's still hope, man. You could still bet on him. But you know, We still yet to see it, so I'm gonna have to go with the Buccaneers winning the division.
Yeah, the Kyle
I
Pitts
will
one
also
is a
say
big
real
one.
quick.
Go for it, yeah.
Yeah, we'll also say I do have the Falcons just barely sneaking into the playoffs, probably as the 7th seed.
I like it. I like it because I also have the Falcons making the playoffs, despite obviously not winning the division. I really like what you said there about Kyle Pitts, bro. I've heard things from the Falcons camp. Not that like I'm an NFL insider, but just in general, people are saying Kyle Pitts, this is his like comeback year. But I feel like people have said that about Kyle Pitts every year since his rookie year. But maybe it is. I like a storyline. I like to buy in on these things. I always get let down. I'm a gambler though. You know, I'm gonna buy in on these storylines. Kyle Pitts redemption season. There was talks of the Falcons looking to trade him, seeing what was on the market, seeing what they could get, entertaining offers. I don't think anyone gave them anything. I mean, evidently he's still there. So could this be the season for Kyle Pitts to bounce back? Could Michael Penix have an MVP type season? I really like Michael Penix, bro. I think he's got a fucking rocket of an arm. I think he only lost 2 games that he started last year, and both of them was in overtime, which is like, you know, like, I can't wait to see him for a full season now. With this new look Falcons defense too, can they actually sack the quarterback this year? The Buccaneers, though, like you say, I'm very, very excited to watch them play. They drafted one of my favorite players in this draft class, Emeka Egbuka. That guy, I watched him a lot last season for the Ohio State University. And bro, that guy's a player, bro. That guy's a serious player. Let me tell you. And the way the Buccaneers use their receivers, moving them around the line, motions, stack formations, I think Emeka Egbuka is the man to watch. I think Chris Godwin's still injured or like coming back off the injury. So he's, you know, who knows what he's going to do. Mike Evans, Mr. Automatic 1000. I don't think he's going to get 1,000 this year. I'm going to say it. Is it bad to fade Mike Evans after what a legend he is? Probably. But, bro, people say he's Mr. Automatic, but he barely scraped that 1,000 last year. You know what I mean? In the final game against the Saints when they just let him catch you. But Baker Mayfield, dog. Emeka Egbuka, dog. Give me the Bucs to win this division. I do want to say, though, the Panthers this season, I've got them to not have a winning record, but they should be exciting to watch. I think they'll suck, but I think they'll score a lot of points this year. They signed... well, not signed, but they drafted Tetero McMillan. That guy's a dog, bro. This NFC South is just a division of wide receivers who are dogs. And then you've got the Saints who are dog shit. I'm probably going to go 0-17 this year. What do you think about the Saints, Q? They've had quarterback carousel going on. They've released players. I think, was it Spencer Rattler they've named as their starter? Christ.
Yeah, I look at the Saints team and I go, oh shucks, because it's not looking good. I don't know how they drafted Tyler Shuck, dude. I'm still blown away by that.
Yeah, and not even made him starter.
Pretty much all I can say. Yeah, that's all I can say about that team. Oh shucks.
Yeah. Well, let's move on from this division because there's only really. I mean, you know what? Maybe the Panthers are like a dark horse team. I feel like they're one of those teams that if you bet on them to make the playoffs, even as like a wild card, that could be good odds. But you'd probably lose money if you did that. So let's not even go there. Let's talk about the NFC East. I feel like these are 2 divisions right here, which we'll probably have different orders for because these are 2 very competitive divisions. Now, being a Cowboys fan, I'm sure it's obvious who I've picked to win this division. The Eagles. I think the Eagles might end up going back to the Super Bowl again, bro. I can't lie. It pains me to say it, but that squad is just ridiculous. I do have the Cowboys making the playoffs, though, because... Come on, Cowboys. You know what I mean? But, bro, like, I'm trying to be optimistic, but with Micah not signing yet, at the time I'm recording, that's the only reason why I haven't put Cowboys top, by the way. If Micah had signed the contract, we win the division. You can hear the conviction in my voice as I say that. But nah, bro. Like, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, we're going to look fiery in the offense. Tyler Booker on the O-line. My boy Ferguson, our tight end, just got a new contract. But, bro, losing Micah would be absolutely devastating. And if we do... And also, what the fuck is going on at cornerback for the Cowboys right now? I don't know what. We might get cooked by the Eagles. It's the first game of the season, Cowboys-Eagles. By the way, my prediction, that game is going to be the most watched NFL game of all time. Maybe not including Super Bowl, regular season games. I think that's going to be the most watched game of all time. A Thursday night, Eagles-Cowboys. you kidding me? But I do think the Eagles might end up winning 46-13. And I don't want to say that though. But yeah, I think Eagles will win this. I think Cowboys make playoffs. I think Commanders make playoffs and Giants don't. What about you, Q? Who have you got? And what's your order for the NFC East?
I got Eagles on top again. They've just been a completely sound team all around, and they just got even better through the draft. And it just sucks that this keeps happening. And then second, I got the Commanders. I think I'm a little bit lower than most on Jaden Daniels just because we talk about all these fantastic rookie seasons, like how we talked about CJ Stroud, talked about Justin Herbert and Baker Mayfield and all these guys. And then they go into their sophomore year and they go into a little bit of a slump because they have that new target established on their back. And then we're like, were we too high on CJ Stroud? Were we too high on Justin Herbert and Baker Mayfield and all this stuff? So maybe that's part of the reason I'm going the direction I am with this team. But I still think, unfortunately for you, I think they're better than the Cowboys. And I think they're my last wild card team in this division. So yeah, I'd go Eagles number 1, Commanders number 2, and Cowboys, keep putting dog shit on primetime TV. You really hate to see it.
Hey, with Dak healthy though, and with George Pickens in there, I think it's going to be absolute cinema to watch the Cowboys offense this year. You watch the Cowboys defense, it might not be so pretty. However, just absolute cinema on that offense. Also, I made this list at the time. Terry McLaurin had not got a new contract yet. That's a big piece for the Commanders to make sure Terry is locked up. I don't know why they always wait, these owners, until the end of training camp to get this shit done. Why would they not just do it early? Even the Jerry and Micah situation, you get the contract done early, you save money down the line, because Micah should have got that contract before Myles Garrett got paid, before Max Crosby got paid. Now the market's moved, and Jerry don't want to pay him. You know what I mean? But it's crazy to me.
I was going to say, on that point, the most successful teams are the ones that get it done before the market resets. Like, I hate to credit the villain, but the Vikings have been exceptional when it comes to their contracts. Justin Jefferson looks like a steal, and he's the top 2, not 2, receiver in the league. And we got the Packers with Xavier McKinney, who's already looking like a steal. Should have had consideration for Defensive Player of the Year last year, and he's like not even top 5 paid safeties in the league, but he's playing like damn near top 3. So yeah, I don't get what the owner's obsession with waiting until the market completely crashes until to try to sign these guys. Like you're paying Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Trey Hendrickson 75% of your salary cap. Like, okay, cool. We'll see you in Cancun. So, it's tough, man. As the fan, you're like, you need to get ahead of it, but the owners are like, this money feels a lot better in my pockets than it does out to these players.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand, especially with the Cowboys. I mean, Jerry looks at the Cowboys as a business, rather than a football team. I don't think Jerry cares about winning. If you watch the Cowboys documentary on Netflix, I've started watching it. It's a great series, by the way, so far from what I've seen. But like, Jerry turned this team into the most profitable sports franchise in the world. All across all sports, the Cowboys are worth $10 billion. Just pay the man his millions. You know what I mean, Jerry? Like, come on, bro. Do you want to win a Super Bowl? Like, I know that we make the money already, but imagine, like, the Cowboys got here because of the history and winning all those Super Bowls and the fucking old school teams. What the fuck is that? Is that rain? That's the loudest rain I've ever heard. I thought somebody was trying to break in there, bro. The water's trying to get in. There's a flood or something. What the hell? What the hell? Anyway, what was I saying? Jerry Jones, just leave, bro. Like, give me the team. Give me $10 billion and I'll pay Micah and keep the rest. Anyway, I feel like the NFC is so much more entertaining than the AFC. We probably should have started with AFC. And I'm probably going to flip it in the edit. There's no rules. We're going to flip it in the edit. Because I'm looking at the AFC now. That division's ass. Or conference. I don't even know what the fuck they're called. But lad, there's like 3 teams over there that might compete. Everyone else sucks. Speaking of teams and divisions that are undecided. And this is a division that could go either way. I think between 2 teams. It's the NFC West. Q, do you want to start? Because I feel like I've started every division. And I want to see your thoughts before I give mine on the NFC West.
Yeah, I think this 49ers team is a lot like the Lions team last year, where they got just completely eviscerated by injuries, and they're getting a lot of guys back, and they're going to be a better team. But the difference between the 49ers and the Lions is just the relative ease of their division. Like the Lions, they got to go through hell and back just try to get through their division, but the 49ers, compared to everybody else, I don't see anybody else beating the 49ers this year if they can stay healthy. I mean, Matt Stafford, bless his soul, has been gone for weeks, and they replaced him with a clone.
The clone
But
Stafford. Oh.
yeah, I don't think clone Stafford is going to be putting up as good numbers as regular Stafford did. And I mean, you talk about this is the Seahawks and the who the fuck is the other team exactly?
Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
Yeah,
who's talking about the Cardinals?
Who's the last place team? Who's the team that's finishing last? That's all you need to know with the Cardinals.
Yeah. Who's the team where you're listing off every team in the NFL and you're like, I forgot one.
Yeah.
Who am I forgetting?
The team that hasn't been relevant since fucking Patrick Peterson was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The team that's probably gonna go 6-11. Like, who even cares? 5-10. That's a 5-10 team. Kyler Murray. Yeah. He's smaller than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm 5'11". I don't even know how tall he is. He's probably 6. He's 5'10". I'm 6 foot. I'm 6'7". I'm just adding inches on. Sorry, bro. Go on. Just cut you off there for no reason.
No, you're good, man. I think that was pretty much my entire spiel, though, is this 49ers team is incredibly lucky to be in such a weak division, and they'll do better at coming back than the Lions do. I think they're taking the number 1 seed, or the number 1 spot in their division, and I don't think anybody else from this division's getting in.
Nice. We finally, well, I guess the NFC East, we had different opinions, and the NFC North. But for the NFC West, we've also got different opinions. I think the Rams win this division. I really like the Rams as a team. I think they've got good players both sides of the ball. Matt Stafford, though, that is a big one. Is he real? Is he AI? Is that Matt GPT? That's a big one. Matt GPT is the quarterback, bro. That's a big one. Matt GPT, or is he the real guy? Who knows? But they've got Devontae Adams, your boy. They've got Puka Nacua. You know what I mean? A LeBron fan like me. So I love Puka Nacua. I think the defense is great. The pass rush, Sean McVay's a great coach as well. And yeah, the 49ers do have people coming back from injury. CMC, can he stay fit for the whole season? That's a big one. Niners have lost some players on defense too. Dre Greenlaw went to the Broncos, I want to say. The Broncos are fucking crazy, by the way. What a team. Yeah, man, I'm taking the Rams to win, and I do think the 49ers will do well this season, have a positive record. Obviously, our third co-host, Key, or Crab, he's a 49ers fan. I completely forgot to read out his predictions, by the way. We'll read them now that we've done ours. But yeah, I'm taking the Rams to win this division, possibly the Niners get in the playoffs. I've realized I've probably picked too many teams to make the playoffs in my playoff predictions, but I don't care. It is what it is. 20 teams can get in the playoffs as long as I win some money on them. But I'm picking Rams to win the NFC West. Shall we take a look at who our third co-host picked in the NFC? So, here's Crab's picks. For the NFC North, he went with the Detroit Lions. He's fading the Packers, going with the Lions to win it. Probably similar. He didn't give reasons, by the way, so we're just going to read the winners. NFC South, he went with the Buccaneers. I like the pick. NFC East, Eagles. And, well, I mean, we'll get to the reason why he picked the Eagles later on in his predictions too. NFC West, he went with the Niners. Obviously, being a Niners fan, that was obvious. But there's his NFC predictions. And this is going to be a fun video to look back on at the end of the season and see who knows ball and who's just chatting shit. This guy, probably. Let's move on to our player awards, MVP and Rookie of the Year. Who have you got for Offensive Rookie and Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Man, I looked at this Offensive Rookie of the Year, and I don't want to be like that guy. I don't want to. You can call me biased because I am. You can call me a homer because I am. But like at the end of the day, I feel like more often than not, the Rookie of the Year goes to somebody who was fortunate enough to get drafted to a good team, unless they like completely turn the team around, like we saw with Jaden Daniels and some of these other guys. I feel like a lot of the time it's a guy who was put in a very fortunate situation. I mean, you can even say like looking back, you can say that Jaden Daniels was probably put in a more fortunate situation than Caleb Williams and things like that. But I think one of the guys who's put in the most fortunate situation is Matthew Golden, the wide receiver for the Packers. I mean, you got the entire town of Green Bay screaming your name. You walk out there on the draft stage, everybody's going to be looking to you to lead this team. And I think that's definitely going to show on the field whenever he's putting up great stats. I mean, you saw it already in the preseason. He was the only guy going out there catching the ball. You see him in camp, just phenomenal in his routes and making damn near every catch. And I'm just thinking about some of these other guys, like Travis Hunter. I think he's going to do good, but he's going to get split time, and that might take away from one award versus the other. And then you get guys like Ashton Genty, who I was initially leaning towards, but it's like, how, this is going to sound very rude towards Genty, but how good does Genty make the Raiders to where they were before they drafted him? Like, I don't think he is a needle mover quite like how Matthew Golden is, where he's going to step up and be the number one guy after they've been consistently let down in that area, referring to the Packers anyway. I think Genty is going to be great, but the rest of this Raiders team, I think, is going to kind of tamper expectations from him. You know what I mean? And with Golden, I think he's in a better position to succeed and claim the award like that. So I'm going Golden Offensive Rookie of the Year. Do you want me to go defensive as well, or do you want
I may as well jump in with offense. Yeah, I may as well jump in with offense too. I do like the pick for Golden, and I like the reasoning, because it's not just, you know, a bias pick because you're obviously a Packers fan. I do think there's a lot of upside to Matthew Golden. I think he's coming in there. He's probably wide receiver 1 already on the depth chart. You know, he's not played like a single like actual snap for the Packers. Obviously outside of preseason, but fuck preseason. You know what I'm talking about. There's definitely a lot of upside there, and I think the way these votes work and stuff and these awards, like, there's a lot of outside narratives that play into who wins them, as we saw with the MVP last season. You know, it's not just about pure play. So I can see it, especially if you compare Matthew Golden's stat at the end of the season to like the rest of the receivers room at the Packers. If he's got like 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, and then like the next guy is like 400 yards, then they're going to be like, this guy's a fucking game changer. You know what I mean? Let's give him the award. And with what you said about Ashton Genty, because I was thinking about Genty, I've not put Genty for my Offensive Rookie of the Year either. And that's simply because, you know, running backs, obviously, you know, you have to be a great player as a running back. You can't just be any old fucking guy and play that position. But, you know, the offensive line plays a big part in the success of a running back. And I don't know if the Raiders have an offensive line that can give Genty what he needs. I mean, we saw Saquon Barkley, Shayshawn Barkley. They got Shayshawn Barkley. Look at him at the Giants. Still a great player, but he wasn't putting up the numbers he put up at the Eagles, who have arguably the greatest offensive line of all time that we've ever seen right now. And again, that comes from the offensive line being able to hold those gaps open for these players. Saquon's still amazing. Backwards hurdles over some bum-ass Jags player who nobody even knows the name of, because you're just the guy who got backwards hurdled. But I do think Genty is a great player and he will develop into something special in the league. But will he do that at the Raiders? I don't know, because I don't know if that O-line is good enough to make the plays. I don't really know too much about Ashton Genty, I can't lie. I don't know if he's like just a running back or if he can receive too, because I think about, with the same points, Alvin Kamara over at the Saints, even when their O-line was struggling, Kamara was still putting up numbers because he's a great receiving back. And I feel like in today's NFL, you've got to be able to be a good catcher of the ball and a good receiver as a running back. You look at CMC, what he did for years in Carolina, but also now at the 49ers, like, sensational. Even Saquon, he doesn't get a lot of routes, but he'll catch a few passes on the check down from Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts is scared of throwing the ball. Or, well, I guess the Eagles are scared to call passing plays, it seems. But for my Offensive Rookie of the Year, I put a little shortlist down. I like Travion Henderson. I said before about him when we're talking about the playoffs. I like Tetairoa McMillan. I've mentioned all of my candidates already for the Panthers, and I think he could be wide receiver 1, similar to what we said about Matthew Golden there, especially if you compare him to the other guys. With Adam Thielen leaving the Panthers now, Xavier Legette, Funny guy, great accent. I'm not sold on his footballing ability though. I think T-Mac could have a crazy season with Bryce Young over in Carolina. Emeka Egbuka though as well, that's my guy for the Buccaneers. I don't think he'll put up crazy stat numbers, but he'll be a big player for the Bucs to move the ball down the field. I really want to say Emeka Egbuka and just double down on him being my guy, but I am low-key leaning towards T-Mac because I think him and Bryce Young could link up and be something special, but also Travion Henderson, because it's easy to give a running back the award because you just look at the amount of yards that they pick up and the touchdowns. He's probably going to be the one to pound in the rock if they're in, a short situation, goal line situation. The Patriots O-line, they've just picked up Will Campbell, first round, 4th overall pick, like at the left tackle position. That's a solid O-line going on over there at the Patriots. I do like Travion Henderson, and from what I've heard about him in training camp, he could be the real deal over there. So I'm 50-50 or like 33% on each of these guys, Emeka Egbuka, T-Mac, and Travion Henderson. Is it a cop-out by not picking one of them? Absolutely. I'm going to put probably 10 on each of them to win it. But for the sake of the video, let me go Emeka Egbuka. That's my guy. Let me double down. Why not? From the Ohio State University, I'm going with Emeka Egbuka, but I'm putting 10 on each of those guys. As for Defensive Rookie of the Year, I won't be as long-winded because I don't really have too much to say about that, but who have you got, Q, for Defensive Rookie?
This one was a little bit tough, and I say that again because Travis Hunter is going to get a lot of votes for probably both the categories, but I think
didn't even mention
it might
him.
hurt for the single award if he's playing both sides of the ball. Like if he were to focus on one side or the other, he's probably getting that award for the side he chooses. But I think going back and forth might hamper the votes for him just a tiny bit. I think the two guys that I'm looking at the most are probably Abdul Carter for the Giants and Jihad Campbell for the Eagles. Abdul Carter is just an absolute freak athlete, and pairing him up with Dexter Lawrence and revamping that D-line that the Giants have. I don't think the Giants are going to do great, but I think their D-line is going to be moving towards the right direction, and that in itself is going to be moving the whole team in the right direction. And Jihad Campbell for the Eagles, I talked about it with Matthew Golden. It's just a great player going into a great situation. You've seen how exceptional the Eagles were last year, and they had their own pair of rookies for Defensive Rookie of the Year. They had Cooper DeJean and Quintanamo Bay up for grabs. And I think we're going to see the same thing with Jihad Campbell, just an absolute freak player put in a perfect situation. And it just sucks that they keep getting good players. I'm not excited to see him doing well this year, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, you know, the Jesse Pinkman meme from Breaking Bad where he's like, he can't keep getting away with this. That's how I feel every single year watching the Eagles draft. Like, how do they do this every year? And they just keep getting better. And then even like Josh Sweat left, and I'm like, oh, they've lost Josh Sweat. That was a big player for them. And then in comes Jihad Campbell. You've still got Jalen Carter there on the D-line too, who needs double teaming. So then, you know, you can't double team everyone on the D-line. It's crazy the Eagles have over there. But the Cowboys have Tyler Booker. Come on, week 1, give me the Cowboys plus 7 points. Anyway, that's for next week's video.
Yeah,
for Defensive Rookie, go for it. Yeah,
I don't think I properly chose. I'm gonna go Jihad Campbell for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Oh, fairs. Yeah, I forgot that you mentioned two there. I also mentioned two. I mentioned Abdul Carter, and I think, like I said, with with running backs getting the Rookie of the Year award, it's easy because you just look at the stats. It's easy to pound the rock, and especially if it's like, you know, a short yardage situation at the goal line, you can just throw in a running back and your running back might end up with like fucking 20 touchdowns in a season or something because you're just getting, you know, like, I mean, even look last year at how many touchdowns and stuff Jalen Hurts got. Yes, I am hating on the QB sneak again, which is like on the stats. That's what wins these awards, you know? So, but a similar vein with the defense, like a defensive lineman is so easy because you just look at sacks and QB pressures and there's all these stats. Whereas, like, you mentioned Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Neither of them won it last year, did they? It was Vers from the Rams, wasn't it? Like, got rookie last year. But, like, cornerbacks is hard to look at because you might look at interceptions, and if they don't get that many interceptions, it's like, they weren't that good. But, you know, you look at passes completed. Saying that, though, Defensive Player of the Year last year was PS2. But from a stats perspective, I think Abdul Carter is probably the favourite to win this award. because it's going to be so easy for him. The Giants do have a good D-line too. So again, like I mentioned with, Eagles, you're going to have to double team Jalen Carter. You might have to double team Sexy Dexy and is it Thibodeau? I never know how to say my man's name. It's French sounding. So Abdul Carter is in a perfect position right there too to be the rookie of the year. But that's not my pick. My pick, I'm going to my team, the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm picking Malachi Starks, Defensive Player of the Year. I really like this guy. I really like the Cowboys. Damn. I do really like the Cowboys, but we're talking about the Ravens right now. I like the Ravens system. I like the way our defense is set up. I probably watched more Ravens games last year than Cowboys games. And that's probably because it's just more fun to watch the Ravens than the Cowboys last year. But you guys knew every week I would talk about Kyle Hamilton. That's one of my favorite players. The way Kyle Hamilton was utilized as a safety, but also sometimes bringing him to more of like a defensive back position, like a corner back position, playing like nickel, sometimes blitzing off the edge. I think we might see the exact same thing happen this year with Malachi Starks, but he's also great in coverage. And just that hybrid right there, to be great in coverage, he's got the chance of interceptions, also bringing him closer to the line. Tackle numbers are going to be up. Sacks could be in there. And for a safety, I think that's just a fucking good shout for Rookie of the Year, bro. Like, when was the last time a safety won Defensive Rookie of the Year? That's a good question. I actually have a list of it right now, so I can check that. I might be here a while, though. Because off the top of my head, I can't think of one. We've got Marshawn Lattimore, cornerback. Obviously in 2017, that was. Has a safety ever won? Earl Thomas. What year would that have been?
Oh.
Linebacker. These are all just linebackers, bro. I don't think a safety's ever won it. 1990, Mark Carrier for the Chicago Bears. That was the last safety to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. We're making history. Malachi Starks. Give me that. Shall we move on to regular season MVP, the big award, the controversial award, because it doesn't seem to be off football and merit, this one. It's off who they like the most at the time. You can tell I'm a Lamar Jackson guy. But for my regular season MVP, I'm going Lamar Jackson. Payback season. Q, you mentioned it before. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder now to be like, oh, like, you thought Josh got it last year. Josh did have a great season, and he's a great guy, and he's a beautiful man. His wife's beautiful, and he's 6'3" and very handsome. And yeah, Josh, we get it. But Lamar should have got that award last year, bro, and he's gonna get it this year. I've got the Ravens, about to spoil my next pick, but I've got the Ravens. This is a regular season award anyway. I've got the Ravens going. What did I put? 13-4 is my prediction for the regular season for the Ravens, and I think Lamar Jackson's going to be a big part of that. I think the O-line is great. You've got Derrick Henry, you've got Patrick Ricard in there. We picked up D-Hop. I know he's old now, but that's DeAndre Hopkins, bro. Zay Flowers is just a great receiver. Rashad Bateman as a deep threat. Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews, if we want to go 12 personnel. Talk to me nice. Lamar Jackson is winning the MVP for this season. Q, who have you got for regular season MVP? Are you with me? Tell me you're with me.
Hey, I'm with you, brother.
That's what I'm talking about.
I wish I could add more.
That's what I'm talking about.
I wish I could add more, but like we said, Lamar Jackson's going to have a huge fire under his ass this year, and he's going to be probably more willing than ever to go out of his way, put up insane stats, and get the MVP back that he rightfully deserved last year. And maybe it's the Packers bias with Aaron Rodgers and the insane touchdown to interception ratio, but people are talking about like how that's an inflated stat and the better thing to do is like avoid sacks and stuff like that. But it's like, what kills the drive more, a sack or actually turning the ball over with an interception? And
bro, you just reminded me about the arm punt. Remember the arm punt that they said, bro? That shit. That's when I knew, because I had a futures bet on Lamar Jackson to win the MVP. When that commentator said Josh Allen with the arm punt instead of Josh Allen with the interception, I was like, okay, my money's gone. Rest in peace, my bet, because he's winning the MVP. What the fuck is that arm punt? Oh, bro, don't get me pissed off. Don't get me pissed off.
It's truly ridiculous what happened last season with all of that. Josh played well, but I don't think he played nearly at the level that Lamar Jackson did, and that's going to be all the more incentive for Lamar to go off. I do want to say I think you got the big four in the AFC. You got Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes. I think I hate to chalk it up like that. Those are the four most likely in my eyes. But like I said, with all of what happened last season, I think the most inspired to go for it is probably Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Josh Jackson was you about to say? That's crazy.
Something like that.
Lamar Allen. Lamar Allen sounds like an offensive lineman. That's a left guard. That's Larry Allen. That's what I was thinking of.
Allen.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. But yeah, man, I like it. I forgot to mention Key's picks, so let's quickly do Crab's picks. He only gave us one Rookie of the Year, which was Cam Ward. He picked for the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Similar to like the MVP, I feel like the regular season MVP is a quarterback award. And if Cam Ward has a good year as a quarterback, it's going to be easy to give him Rookie of the Year. If he comes in and has a Jaden Daniels type season, maybe not even to that level of greatness, but still. So Key has predicted Crab Ward. Crab Ward is crazy. Crab has predicted Cam Ward to be Rookie of the Year. And for his MVP, he's gone with Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow. I'm smoking on Joe Burrow. I think last season, Joe Burrow could have been in that conversation for MVP. The numbers he put up was crazy, but they're not going to give the MVP to a guy with a losing record. This season, though, I think the Bengals could bounce back, make the playoffs, have that winning record. And if they do, Joe Burrow for MVP is a great shout because, you know, if they have a winning record and they make the playoffs, who's going to get them there? It's Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? He's going to go for 5,000 million yards again in the air. His weapons are ridiculous. And yeah, man, that's Key's pick for MVP. So we've at least got some diversity in, you know, the rookie picks, the MVP picks, even in the thing. Did I read Key's predictions for AFC?
I was gonna bring that up. I don't think so.
Another edit job.
Gonna be a lot of editing.
I'm gonna fucking blow my brains out. Fucking Persona 3. Super Bowl predictions, the end of the season. Who's going to be the two teams to make it there, and who's going to win this Super Bowl in your eyes, Q?
I mean, there's going to be a lot of great teams in the playoffs, a lot of high.
Shit, sorry, can we double back a sec? Let me, because I had some honorable mentions for MVP. My bad. I went with Lamar Jackson. Q's gone Lamar Jackson. Kia's gone Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow. I have some honorable mentions and just players to look out for, and maybe sprinkle a bit of money on if you are a gambler. Gamble responsibly. With that being said, I've gone with Dak Prescott as an honorable mention. I say gamble responsibly and then say put money on Dak Prescott. That's going against my own words, but now I do think...
Call the number.
Now, I think Dak is more likely, though, to win Comeback Player of the Year. I know he's on the shortlist for that already. I think that'll be a two-horse race between Dak and Aiden Hutchinson. If Hutch can hit the ground running and do well for the Lions... But obviously, being a QB, it's so much easier. And with, you know, CeeDee Lamb, Ferguson, fucking George Pickens. Can't even remember our running back's name now, but we got him from the Broncos. I think Dak could have a great season. Maybe worth a little sprinkle for MVP. Probably won't get it, though. Honorable mention to Michael Penix Jr. I'm just saying it. He's 66-1. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money if you put some money on it. I've also said Jared Goff. I think if he has another season like last year, he could be in that contention. I think Jared Goff will be on the short list by the end of the season, but not win it. But I think he'll be on the short list for MVP. I've also put Joe Burrow and JD5. I know there's a lot of talk. Will JD5 have the sophomore slump? Will teams be able to plan against him now? I don't think they will. And if they can't, he won the Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. But low key, if he wasn't a rookie last year, he might have been in the MVP conversation. If we're talking at it from a strict point of view, he was the most valuable player for the Washington Commanders last year. If they would have lost him, they would have struggled. They would not have been where they were. But there's a lot of politics in play with this award, so gamble responsibly. Don't put money on a Dallas Cowboy. Super Bowl then. End of season. Super Bowl predictions. Who have you got to make the big game and win the Lombardi?
I was thinking about this for a long time, and I think my homer bias ends here. I love the Packers, and I can definitely see a way for them to make it, but with this season, just the Eagles getting better in the NFC, I don't know if we can overcome that just yet. Hopefully, I change my tune later in the year, but NFC side, I got the Eagles, and AFC side, like I said, somebody's going to be coming in with the fire under his ass for what happened last year, and that's going to be Lamar Jackson. It's going to be a lot of birds flying around in the Super Bowl this year. And I think if I had to choose, I think this is the season that Lamar Jackson finally puts it all together. They're going to get a Super Bowl out of him. Believe that. And I think it's finally
Believe that.
time that he steps
Believe
up and
that.
does it.
Oh man, I wish we didn't have such similar brains, because then we could make an actual, like, you know, entertaining show. We need to be like Shannon Sharp and Skip back in the day. We need to just get Aggie Q and start hating each other. But I'm also picking the Ravens versus Eagles in the Super Bowl. What the fuck? Like, what is this? So let me throw a grenade and say, fuck the Eagles. As a Cowboys fan, you're not going to the Super Bowl again. I'm going. This is going to sound like I'm falling into the propaganda and the chat GPT bullshit about the fucking AI conspiracy theory tinfoil hat. But did you see the Super Bowl logo for this year, Q? Did you see the colors on it?
Every color on it.
Did you see the colors?
It's got about every color on it.
It's not. It's purple and blue, bro. It's purple and blue. So I'm picking the Ravens versus the Lions in the Super Bowl this year, and I've got the Ravens to come out on top. I think there's no weak point in the Ravens team. This is the year that Lamar Jackson finally gets over the hump. I'm willing to bet on it. I'm willing to put $100 on Lamar Jackson to win the Super Bowl this year. I'm doing it. They say gamble responsibly, but I think they might even be the favorites. Let me check the odds right now, actually. This ain't a gambling show, but if you want to sponsor us, DraftKings, Sky Bet, Bet365, William Hill, other gambling sites are available. Please just give me some fucking free money to gamble, bro. Have you seen Drake, the amount of money he gambles? Because it's not his money. Think about the joy and the thrill of gambling, but it's not actually your money that you're losing. Anyway, I need to fucking call that number. Let me check.
During that whole spiel, you need to just flash the number over.
Oh, now I've got to. So, there's actually a bet boost at the minute. £10 on the Detroit Lions to win the Super Bowl returns £130. The Baltimore Ravens are actually favorites to win it. $100 returns was $750. That's cash money. Sorry, that's cash money. That's a good investment. You put $100 in Bitcoin, by next year, it might be worth $105. It might be worth $80. You put $100 on the Ravens to win the division or win the Super Bowl, $750. Give me that all day. Malachi Starks, Defensive Player of the Year or Defensive Rookie of the Year. Lamar Jackson MVP. It's a Ravens season. Did you see the Madden simulation for who the Super Bowl winner would be? It was Ravens versus Packers. It's Ravens versus Packers right now. They had the Packers to come out on top in that game. So if you believe in conspiracies, you might want to sprinkle some money on Ravens versus Lions. I don't know why it's always about money. I'm sorry to turn this into like a degenerate show, but it's just fun to watch sports. It's even more fun to make money while we do so. With that being said, GoFundMe link down below. The lights have gone off in the house. It's freezing cold. I can't pay the heating bill. Subscribe to the Patreon. OnlyFans coming soon. Oh man, we need to get out of here, bro. Is there anything else to add, Q? I feel like we've gone through it all. Anything else to say? Final notes?
Crab's Super Bowl, did we do that?
We did not. I forgot his picks for every single section, you know.
Come on, bro.
I'm sorry, bro. It's because I just, you know.
I remember you, bro. I remember you.
Let's go to Crab's picks for one final time in this video. And Crab has, I hate him for this. He's picked Philly to win the Super Bowl and go back to back. I can't fault the logic. Their team is ridiculous. It's so good. The offensive line, Shayshawn Barkley, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean is probably a top, when it's all said and done, Cooper DeJean might be a top 10 white boy of all time. Real quick, Q, before we go, give me your top 3 white boys of all time.
Top 3 white boys of all time.
Yeah.
Damn. Tony Hawk is up there.
Valid.
I don't know if he fits the white boy vibe, but he's a white boy, so I gotta go Steve Irwin.
Oh, he's no, 100%. 100%.
And then, oh man, probably coldest white boy to ever do it, Larry Bird. I think that's my top 3.
That's a solid list. You can't really fault it. you cannot really fault it. For my top 3 white boys, I'm going to go with Crabasite, Qusic, and myself. Let's go. I bet on losing dogs.
Right.
I bet on losing dogs. And I'm picking us 3 as the top 3 white boys of all time. Honorable mention to Jeff Hardy, though. Jeff Hardy has to get the honorable mention right there. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this video of 2 cold white boys, very cold because the heating's gone off, please support the channel so I can pay the bill. I'm playing with that, by the way. This is all a joke. But yeah, man, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you stay tuned for next week. We're going to make our week 1 predictions. Make sure you join the Pick'em League. Link is down below. And drop in the comments your predictions for each division, your rookies of the year, MVP, Super Bowl predictions. Do we know ball? Are we chatting shit? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Predict your outcomes in the comments. And the winner gets absolutely nothing but pride and joy to say that they know ball. With that being said, anything to final remarks, Q, before we sign off?
Nah, man, just super excited for the season, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Man, I can't wait for it. Football is back. I'm fired up. If you you should expect this every single week. Just absolute head loss. Thinking what is, well, I was going to say what are these guys talking about, but mainly it's me who just goes on the tangents and needs to shut the fuck up. But it's not going to happen. It's my channel. No one can stop me. If you have enjoyed this video though, like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the vibes. Dreamers country. Let's ride. Take it easy, people, man. We are back, bro. Football is back. I don't know why I always get so pumped at the end of videos. Like when I start them, I'm always low energy. The same thing happened in my FPL video then.